Hello all, and welcome to Tuesday Q&A. I'm your host, Roland. With me, my expert,
Muse.
Expert.
Okay.
Expert.
I like Muse, but
no,
right.
Expert, I guess.
That's fair.
Ursinity, how are you?
I'm good. Nothing too exciting. I'm happy to be here.
Glad.
That's the thing that guests say. Hosts don't say that of their own show. I'm happy to be
No,
recorded.
you're not a host. You're an expert.
I am an expert. You're right, but I am on the show every week, right? So it would be weird if I said happy to be here, right? That's like a thing that I would say if I was like a guest on some other show.
I could get another expert that would be happy to be here. You know what I mean?
But
so
that's because they would be temporary.
If you would like, I'd kind of like for you to stick with that happy to be here.
Well, I mean, I'm happy, but you don't say happy to be here, right? It's like, it's one of those default responses that you say when you're guesting somewhere. You don't say that if you're like, you don't get home and say, oh, I'm happy to be here. You say, no.
I
Hello.
do.
I'm happy to be here. You're like,
when
oh, thank God,
I get to the
this
studio,
is so fleeting.
Oh, when I get to the studio, I'm happy to fucking be here. I'll tell you that much.
Happy to be here, I think, implies that you're leaving soon after, or like some degree of fleeting. So that's kind of my 2 cents on the terminology.
Well, glad we asked for your 2 cents. Anyway, how has your week been?
You did.
How did I? I must have.
Yeah. My week has been fine. I had a lot of family parties. This is confirmation season, and I have a lot of...
What? Okay. What?
It's a religious thing.
What is that?
It's a Catholic thing. I don't know...
Please explain in great detail.
Okay, I've been confirmed, but it's a thing that after you go to years of religious education, then you have... It's one of the sacraments, right? So you've all... What is it? I'm not currently religious, despite having gone through all this myself years ago. But there's like 9 sacraments, and you have like the first one, which is baptism, and then you have communion, which is when you're like 7 or 8, and that's when you get to eat the
wafer, like the vanilla wafers,
the body and blood of Christ. Excuse you. I have to skirt the line so that I don't turn off the not religious people, and I don't insult the many religious people. But yeah, so that's when you get that, and that's when you're allowed to participate. And then confirmation comes after when you're like 13, I think. And so my sister got confirmed, and so you have to have a party for it. You have a whole ceremony that's like hours long. And then my cousin also got confirmed, so it's been a lot of confirmation parties. And when you're confirmed, that's when like you're legally allowed, not legally, but religiously, that's like the final of the foundational sacraments. And then after that, you can't, like, for instance, you can't get married in a Catholic church if you are not confirmed. So if you're like 30 and you're going to get married and you want to get married in a church, you have to go through all this process of like taking this test and whatnot. So if you're raised religious Catholic, then you get it when you're like 13. And it's a whole big thing. And I'm not very religious, but I have relatives that are very religious. So they make a big to-do about it. So I've been running around at all kinds of family parties, and it's been a week. That's for sure.
Damn, that is a week. You gonna reciprocate on that question, or should we just move on?
I can. How have you been this week, Roland?
Thank you. I have been wonderful. Lots of fun things.
Lots of religious events for you too. Not
religious events, although last night was I don't know. The Antichrist came out, so I snore. Okay. I have sleep problems. And baby wakes up at 3 a.m. Okay, whatever. You guys don't like to hear about the baby. Something wakes up at 3 a.m. and it's loud. My wife nudging me. I sleep like a fucking stone. Nudging me. Finally, I wake up. She's like, yo, you got to get this. And in my sleep state, I'm like, nah. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh God!
And she's like, "The fuck did you just say to me?" And I was like,
"That's dangerous."
I was like, "No, I'm not gonna do it this time." And then as I'm coming to like pure consciousness, I'm realizing, "Wow, bro, you're digging yourself a hole." So the loud thing that's in the room, I take care of it and make sure that it's not loud anymore by doing a couple various things.
You turn your alarm off.
Yep. And then I give the loud thing that is now quiet back to her. And I'm like, I'm not sleeping in here. And she's like, the fuck you aren't. And I slept on the couch last night.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I slept on the couch. So
your life is very sitcom-esque.
Yeah.
Like
slept on the couch.
between the intense personalities of both you and your significant other, and it's just very like 90s sitcom to me. All these things that you say, I'm like, oh boy, it sounds like lines from like some kind of generic sitcom that'd be on ABC and probably get canceled after a couple seasons.
Yeah, she's scary, dude. And when she says the fuck you aren't, I was like, I was just kind of like bluffing there, but I get it. Like, you win. I'll just take this pill. And so I wake up. The dog is on the couch. It's the 3-cushion couch. The dog is on the couch, and the 2 cats are sleeping on me. It's like, it was fucked, man. And I woke up and just was like, I'm like, fuck. Oh, it was terrible. That's probably the worst thing that's happened to me in my last week.
Well, you started saying it was wonderful, and then you led into that. But so I assume other than that, it was good. It
was wonderful for the fact that I got to share my story with you. I don't mind sleeping on the couch usually because that means I get to watch TV. No TV allowed in the bedroom. That's another rule.
That's good. Yeah, I don't even have a TV in my bedroom. I think that's weird that people do
It's not a TV. I'm the laptop. I don't have a TV. Well, we have a TV downstairs. We never use it. But like, I like to watch like Dota videos or like something. I'm not allowed to do that.
It's not good for you, sleeping wise.
Yeah, it's kind of like a slumber party when I get to sleep on the couch. But last night it was not fun. Like, I had cats on me, I had dogs on me. It was crying things. Anyway, okay, so we've got to get to our first caller quickly. His MMR is unknown, and he's got some questions. His name is Sean X like Malcolm. I found him in a pub. He found it was a fun game. Anyway, Sean X like Malcolm. What's your question, sir?
What's up, man? Thanks for the intro. Thanks for the MMR rolling.
You're welcome.
2 questions this week. Can I do that?
Go for it. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. Ask as many as you like. Ask as many as you like.
All right, man. Question number 1. I'm wondering, when you guys go to TI, do you have the intent of going as staff and trying to weasel your way into staff type events and extra access? That's question number 1.
You get very different answers from me and Roland.
All right.
I know. No, I was listening to the first podcast today for the Patreons. If you guys haven't donated to Patreon so far, definitely should. It's gold. Rolling, I'm the same way, man. I want to weasel in. I really do.
Oh, man. So, year 1, Ursi, Proud, Grouty was there, but we hadn't really met Grouty yet. But Ursi and Proud weren't there. And I weaseled my way into interviews with anybody and everybody. And the thing is,
bro.
Yeah, but the problem is I ended every interview with "You're my biggest fan." So it'd be like, Black, oh man, your sniper play is awesome. Like, boo, 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 boo. Like, this is awesome. You're my biggest fan. And everybody gave me this weird look because it just became this autonomic response from me at the end of an interview. TI 6 was me just pulling charisma checks. Just like, hey, yeah, I'm with Mike. He's back there. Shit, right. Put my badge up, and they'd be like, all right, come on through. And they'd be like, yeah, I've got like 4 buddies. So I've got a cameraman. One of my cameramen just had his phone out. That's what he used. And we enjoyed the VIP area. It was very nice. Thank you, Val.
Yeah. Roland is definitely in that camp. I'm not the charisma check kind of guy. I go as a fan, and I
got you back to the VIP.
Everybody we know.
Didn't I get you back there?
But, yeah.
Okay.
But like,
yeah.
That's not.
You took advantage of my charisma. Is what you
once,
did.
Okay, over the course of 7 days.
You took advantage of me pulling something.
I want to take credit.
I got peer pressured. I think
it was great back there. The seating was excellent. Free beer, free food. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was nice.
So no official plans, but rolling type plans.
For TI7, there's some official shit going on.
Good.
I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
There will be. We're not sure. Tom at Tom Pushes Vaders, or Juice, as you know him in Discord. He is going to be the producer for all of our content at TI. So we will have. I think we're going to have a camera guy for me, for everybody, and Breaky. So following us around doing our shenanigans. So it'll be a lot more professional than in the years past. TI6 was like, oh shit, I'm having a baby. Get drunk before it comes out. TI7's like, I've accepted my fate, and we're going to do a professional job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, question 2.
Question number two is, let me double check. I wrote it down. I'm sorry.
Oh, hey.
That's okay. Yeah. TI6 was fun, but I'm excited to have the new and the newly.
Question for you, Ursi. Do you think that I was having how did Denny put it?
Prepartum excitement instead of postpartum depression.
Denny said existential crisis. Was I having
pre-postpartum depression?
It was.
Yeah.
I will be honest. That 7-8 days, however long I was there, I was inebriated almost the whole time.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
On the couch, by the way.
Yeah, man, sleeping on the couch. I had to share a room with Denny at TI, but it was at a lake house, so I didn't really care. It was nice.
Okay. Yeah. Question number 2 before I get back to my government job.
Okay.
Question number 2 is: do you guys have plans for T-shirts?
Oh, we do. Boy, may the 4th be with you.
God, I hate that we're launching the news. Everything on May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you, sir. God. We have a lot of plans. Yeah, dude. As many walking advertisements as we can get is going to be awesome. Yeah. Are you going to be there, Sean?
I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be with you guys.
Fucking A! Do you drink? You drink?
My uncle, I do.
All right, let's at least do one night where we get Ursi shitty drunk, and then we obviously can control ourselves.
Down.
No, that's not too much to ask. I'm just Roland, you were just lamenting how last TI you spent way too much time inebriated. Now this time you're like, yo, the first question. God.
Well, I'm gonna get shitty drunk for sure, but I want to see you get shitty drunk again as well because it's hilarious.
So my uncle owns a printing company, so I'm gonna be printing a bunch of T-shirts.
Oh, that's cool.
For who? For what? What T-shirts?
I have a company actually, and I created a talent tree for Dota app. I'm making a custom grid app. It's done, but I'm working out the bugs now, so I'm gonna be advertising that.
That's fun,
dude.
But yeah, I mean, we'll have shirts out for sure. I mean, I don't know how many and how many styles.
Does your uncle do bulk orders?
Just make $1 million.
Does your uncle?
Does he do what?
Does he do bulk, cheap, bulk cheap?
He on his average order is 50 shirts, so kind of smaller orders.
That's what okay, nice. So maybe we'll just order 2,000 and just make sure everybody at Key Arena is wearing a DotP shirt.
Yeah, it'll be like the Slack shirts
for a shirt.
Okay.
Griper.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody loves Griper.
That's up there.
Everywhere.
Everybody loves Griper. I don't even know how that meme became so strong, but it did.
Browdy hates Viper. It's simple.
Griper 2017.
Griper 27. We're actually not there, Sean. We're not at Griper.
Oh my God. We've already shilled so much. Sean, our listener, shilled for us immediately. You can't also shill in this first question.
Me and Sean are a lot alike. I know.
You're definitely self-promoting.
Here's the thing, Sean, we had a meeting yesterday and I got this, you can't introduce the guests. You can't fucking spend so much time with the guests. You got to be quick about things. With you, my friend, nah, I'm going to spend some time with you because we think alike. I knew in that pub when I saw you, man, I was like, this dude's my type of dude. Then when I found out you lived in Michigan and I was like, atmosphere, ? And you're like,
close.
Oh, dude, friendship was born that day. Oh,
Did
man.
we just become best friends?
I think I asked that in the game, didn't I?
Syph is still my favorite, though. Sorry.
I know.
That's fair. He's everybody's favorite after that one-on-one.
He can be your favorite host, but I can be your best friend.
That's true, bro.
Yeah. Awesome.
For activities.
Awesome. Okay, did you have a third question?
No, third question is what kind of music, what artists do Syphus listen to on a regular? That's
okay. Syphus is
asking a question about Syphus.
Syphus listen. I want to answer this. So Syphus,
please do. I don't know.
Syphus listens to good shit. I will be honest. No, get out of here. I want to answer on your behalf because you introduced me to some of my favorite music.
Okay.
Abdominal in the Obliques. Abdominal in the Obliques was a find that Denny had. It's a great hip hop artist that I just listened to his album like 10,000 times.
Abdominal is the MC. The Obliques was the crew.
Obliques is the crew
he teamed up with for that album.
Yep. Idea. You got me
in. Also features Charlie Tuna, which is one of the coolest. Ever.
I mean, you've dragged me to Charlie Tuna. You've dragged me to Idea. You've dragged me to Atmosphere. Is really the reason I got into Atmosphere is probably because of you just driving around in your car. And like pretty much everything. And then it goes to like Modest Mouse that we old Modest Mouse, not new Modest Mouse.
Yeah. I don't listen to on my own though. I don't really listen to Modest Mouse or any of that like old indie stuff anymore. I like if honestly lately when I've been driving around, I've been listening to Wu-Tang, like classic Wu-Tang.
Oh shit, RZA,
dude.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been bumping lately.
God, dude.
That's what I've been bumping.
Spirits. Do you guys know Jedi Mind Tricks?
I do know Jedi Mind Tricks, yes.
Fuck off our show, Denny. Okay?
Oh.
Fuck off our show. Okay?
All right, I'm off the show too, guys. I gotta go back to my government job.
All right. Enjoy your cushy government job.
Patreon. We gotta do the Griper.
We gotta get Griper.
It's gonna happen.
It's true. We gotta get Griper. All right. See you later, Denny. Again.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Bye. All right.
Like
that guy. I'll say that much. Oh, I gotta move him out of here. Yeah.
Okay.
I was
do you
just
have good garbage to ask.
Yeah, I do. But
okay.
I would like to explain my story with Sean
okay,
X.
please.
Like Meepo spam, 2K. Best Meepo game I ever had was in this game. Starts out and rolling from .p. I was like, you know it, baby. And no, I didn't say that. I was like, yeah, thanks for listening to the show. It was streamed. And he's like, oh shit, I love Cyphus. And I was just like, oh, but no, it didn't bother me at all. I thought it was really cool. And he wasn't playing Crystal Maiden, but he does play a lot of, not in that game.
He was.
Are you positive?
I was watching the stream. I know exactly what game you're talking about. You hit buildings, you had a bunch of Scotties, he played Crystal Maiden.
I played a good Meepo that game.
You did.
Thank you. Okay, so let's let you answer our good or garbage here.
Okay.
I am going to be administrating the good or garbage, and you know what? I'm going to actually loosen up a little bit and let you get into some things. But here's where I'm going to be strict. The first thing that comes out of your mouth does need to be either good or garbage, and then
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, just so listeners know, you guys can now send us in good or garbage, even if it's only like one or two good or garbages.
We'll compile
send them in, and then we'll accumulate them, and then rapid fire them out. That way, this is our new kind of good or garbage setup.
Yes.
It's gonna be faster and easier and more entertaining, I hope.
So we have two parts for this good or garbage. One part is revolving around Kiev, and the other is just regular good or garbages.
Cool.
Are you ready?
Cool. Yes.
Adult Ursi replacing Ursinity.
Good. Definitely. I think it's great.
What is Adult Ursi?
I assume it's just me and like a certain tie, like today. Presumably. Maybe I'll get
we gotta get you a little taller.
Well, I mean, that seems difficult.
We can get some.
I could make fake business cards that say like Sam Ursinity Holland, the accountant, or something. I don't know what adults do.
That's kind of adult Ursi. Okay. Did you see Proud's Clink's webpage?
Yes, he sent it to me like a week ago or whatever. Good. Sorry.
Really?
Yeah, you asked me a question that doesn't have good or garbage. You said, "Did you see?"
Oh, you're right. Did you see? Yeah. Good. Good. I saw.
Yeah. Good.
That is a garbage. That website's garbage, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like cute. It's like cutesy garbage. Like there's a difference between garbage that is unintendedly bad and garbage that's just like, oh, hey, this was just a fun little nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're gonna go rapid fire here. K-pop intro music for shows you are on.
Good.
Midas losing popularity.
Good.
That's kind of a confusing one. Solar Crest gaining popularity. How is Midas losing popularity?
Well, it was built a ton early on in the group stages and in the main event,
games. But then
in the later games, the teams that were only building like 2 were the teams that were winning. Yeah, so you would see like 8 in some of the group stage games, but then
ridiculous.
Or 6, usually like at least 5. But then by the grand finals, you're seeing like 2 or 3, maybe 4 at most.
Agreed. Okay. Yep. Lotus Orb.
Lotus Orb? Lotus Orb's good. Good.
Yeah, I think so too. Lotus Orb on Sven.
Good. I'll say that tentatively. I listened to that show, and it does make sense. Lotus Orb is the ultimate situational item, I would say. And it does provide decent stats. And Sven, it's hard to fit it in, but I think you fit it in well.
Yes. Okay, Kiev. VP Enchantress pick.
Good. Even though it didn't work out, it was interesting. Lil was sick with it.
Yeah, Lil did do well.
And press the attack Enchantress? Oh, boy.
Oh, I know, dude. What about that fighting safe lane alchemist?
Garbage.
Don't you think? God, that was garbage.
I mean, it was a block pick.
It was a block pick, but there's okay, I'm a noob. And whenever I'm like, I think a pro did something wrong, I'm just inherently dumb. You know what I mean? Because they're fucking pros. But I feel like Radiance is just super good for the aspect of everybody that is being affected by it has a 17% miss chance. Like, that's good. That's good, especially when you have a troll. Like, imagine if that troll didn't get bashes every time. Like, that might have been one bash that saved their life. You know what I mean?
He ended up building an MKB anyway, and they had solar.
I didn't say MKB. Right? I said Radiance.
Okay, but we're talking about this. Okay, so you're getting effectively more damage than Radiance and more mischance if the Alchemist has a Solar Crest. You're only concerned.
Oh, he did have one, and then he sold it. Remember?
And he sold it. That was like one of the big misplays.
That shit. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, okay, so he did have evasion.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had Solar Crest.
Yeah. Okay.
He just missed. Yeah, he just choked.
It was. I mean, I didn't think it'd be that consequential getting rid of the Solar Crest. I'm going to be honest. Like, I didn't think it'd be like game losing, where it's like.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good reason why it's the most like OP item of the tournament, right? Like, it's the real standout, right? If you ask anybody, people early on would say Midas, but they're wrong. And or late on, you see at least one Solar Crest per team, and it's an amazing item. It's definitely getting nerfed. Yeah. By a good margin.
It'll get
evasion.
I think the nerf will be a longer cooldown, or maybe it costs mana.
I think they're just going to get a recipe cost and be done with it. Maybe they'll increase the cooldown by like a few seconds or something, but I think the big one is going to be.
It shouldn't be free to use. It shouldn't be free to use, in my opinion. I think it should take some mana.
I mean, it's not free because you lose armor.
You lose armor, but I feel like make Medallion costs like 25 mana. Make Solar Crest cost like 50. Add to the cooldown. So there's situations so you can't always use it. So that way, like a Clinks can't has to justify the mana for it. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
For those heroes. Okay, single elimination format.
Good. I like it a lot.
Wasn't that so much fun? God, that was so much fun.
I get why people don't like it, to be honest, but I do think it lends itself well to these smaller tournaments like majors, while TI obviously should never be single elim. But single elim does create really interesting storylines, and it allows for underdogs, even in situations where they may not be the better team, it allows for them to get farther in tournaments. It allows for cool things. It makes pocket strats more effective. Mm-hmm. I just think it's more fun. It disadvantages really good teams, of course, because you can just like choke in some series against Brazil. But it also lends teams like that are unexpected successes to be those unexpected successes. So I like single elim.
I would like it for TI, honestly. I mean,
no.
I thought it was so much fun, and you can't, like, you saw, I think a lot of secret going out was emotion, and at TI they could lose that game against SG, be like, let Puppy, or whoever that was getting emotional, it felt like quite a few people were getting emotional, lose that series, go down into lower bracket, and then start winning again, and then it doesn't matter. Like, to be a good team, you have to have your emotions in check. You have to have a good draft. You have to have good players. You have to have good plays. I feel like when you've got two chances, your storylines kind of fade. Like
I mean, I understand that, and that's why I like single elim for smaller tournaments like majors. But I think TI has to be making sure that the best team is winning, not making sure it's exciting. Like it's going to be exciting regardless, right? I kind of
what about like what about a bigger group stage? The seeding for group stage was like the group stage was heavier, and then so you got like the seeding mattered a lot more. Maybe you did like a group stage that was twice as long, so that it was definitely the best team versus the worst team. You know what I mean?
It's pointless, right? Like, I mean, if you had, let's say, a group stage of 1,000 games, just for the sake of hyperbole, then of course it's just going to be pointless to watch. Like, why would I even watch games like that, right? Like, a lot of people weren't watching the secret game, for instance, because they're like, oh, like, of course the first seed is going to beat the 16th seed. Like, why would I bother staying up for this? But then obviously it's super epic, right? And so people would miss out on that.
Yeah.
So I think single elim is perfect for majors, but I think single elim is definitely wrong for TI.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, it was just fun, I guess.
It's super fun. But
Secret being knocked out by SG.
Definitely good. It was exciting. Yeah. I mean, mid one is like a god tier player, but I'm not. I enjoy pro Dota, but I'm not religiously following any singular team. I just like to watch good Dota and make an exciting Dota. And I watch games for the heroes mostly. Yeah. And that's one of the things why I think people like me like single elim is that they're not tied to one specific team.
Well, it was digestible too. That's the other aspect of it is like I was able to digest Kiev because it was single elimination. Every other tournament I've ever seen, it's just too much shit, dude. Too many games.
Yeah, I mean, there are already too many games, even in this, but that's just a symptom of Dota. Like, you got to pick and choose what you're going to watch. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. I think it's nice to have a mix of things. Good to not have all double elim, good to not have all single elim.
I'll say I was fucking, like, so pleased that Secret got knocked out, because you saw that game one, and you saw Secret just slap SG around.
Yeah.
And then Secret's like super confident they're gonna win. I mean, you even saw the interview with Pylai Divers, like, yeah, it's great. Like, our seeding went awesome. We're going up against a team that we're very confident against, you know. And Pylai Dives seems like a humble.
Yeah. He was the lowest death support player of the entire tournament.
Oh wow. And then so they slapped the shit out of SG game one, and then SG comes back and says we can change it up and wins. And then emotions kick in, arguing. I'm obviously being very assumptive right now.
Yeah.
And then game 3 hits where you're now at a best of 1 for your tournament life on going out last place. So what you gonna do? You know what I mean? Are you able to Are you able to slap them around like game 1? Or are you going to let emotions get into your play? And it's exactly what happened with Secret. Like them coming out with sunglasses at TI 5 and then getting knocked out by VP, Virtus Pro. Yeah. Like that was hilarious too. And they were my team at TI 5. Like everybody was like, Secret's going to take it. Secret's going to take it. And I was like, yes, they are. Fuck yeah. I love Secret. I love Puppy. And then seeing that, like their arrogance, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I think probably even more so than the emotional aspect of that series specifically against SG is the fact that teams practice and they study the really good teams, right? Like TI5 Secret, for instance.
Yeah. People
study up on those teams and say, okay, well, they like to draft a lot of X, Y, and Z. They like the first two blank and blank. But a team like SG, you know, certainly they peripherally, you know, look like, oh, what are their pocket strats? What do they do with this? Mm-hmm. But they don't study them intensely, right? So if Secret was going against EG, let's say they'd spend 35 hours of time researching EG and analyzing their drafts, etc. But SG, they probably spent like a few hours the day before or something, presumably. Right, well, so you have that underdog aspect.
They had 36, and how I know that is Pylai Dice said, like, we don't play for 36 hours in that interview that he was doing. So it was definitely in between group stage and day, I guess you could call it like day 1 of the tournament. Really, it wasn't day 1. It was like day 3 or something. Anyway, I was super happy to just see anybody knock Secret out. To be honest, like by this point, like the fact that there's still even a team boggles my noggin. Because they're just, Arrogant.
Well,
arrogant, and like that's like, at what point do you humble yourself? You know what I mean? How many times do you have to lose to humble yourself? And like,
the team has gone through so many iterations. To be fair, I wouldn't blanket say that Team Secret is arrogant. I think a lot of teams would be arrogant against a team that is like from a underrepresented region.
Yeah,
like the Boston Major, for instance. Like people underestimated them too, and they didn't study up. I think that's just a symptom of being really, really good at something. Is naturally you're going to say, who are these guys? I've never played against them before. Obviously, this is going to be a sweep. I'm not even going to worry about it. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't blanket say like, oh, these people are all arrogant.
It felt like it
is what it is.
I mean, I wish they wouldn't have won so hard on game one, or I bet they wish they wouldn't have wrecked game one so hard, because that was really the big thing. Okay, OG winning 4 majors.
I think it's good. There's a lot of debate, but I think it's a fun storyline to have a team that wins lots of majors. They don't win super convincingly necessarily. Like they win, of course, but it's not like the games are stomps, right? It was a very good series, especially this one. And I take this all with a grain of salt because like I'm a New York Yankees fan. Like I like the idea of having dominant teams because it lends itself to making underdog stories.
Yeah.
And it creates like an end boss and things like that. And the fact that they don't win TIs, I think is interesting. Is like this team, they show up, they do really well. I really like Anna. I think he's a really fun player to watch. He's the highest MMR in the world, and also Reddit, like they just like people. He's a critically underappreciated player.
Oh yeah, he's
like people criticize him on a lot of little things, and he's like a kid. He's like
he's younger than Sumail's 18 by this point. He's 17, so he is like I don't know if he's the youngest in pro, but he's definitely the youngest.
Probably not, but.
I mean, I guess Sumail was probably a younger millionaire, but and he's probably anyway. Kiev Major overall,
good, definitely good.
It was a fun tournament.
This was probably the most watched major of mine. Like
same.
Well, other than maybe the Boston Major because I was there. I think this was the one that I spent the most time consuming, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure. Post major reshuffled drama. I haven't paid any attention to this. Good. I didn't even know there was
any.
I want to look at it. Abed 16, and he is awesome. You're right. Thank you.
Yeah. I would just say good. I'm a drama fiend.
Okay.
All drama is good drama for me. I love it. It's exciting. Like Wings disbanding is the real starter drama,
dude.
But presumably in the next couple weeks there will be more drama.
Maybe we want to get our drama ourselves. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's take a caller here. Kumamizu, your MMR is what? What's your MMR, Kuma?
Well, it's about time you asked because you haven't seen it since like January where I was sub 2K. Same. I haven't played ranked in about 4 months.
Okay,
nice.
So
you're
2K. What's your question, Kuma?
Yeah. So I was wondering if you guys had like a top 3 list of suggestions for someone getting into casting.
Oh. Okay. I assume you mean Dota casting, not podcasting.
Yeah.
Okay. Roland, do you want to alternate? That'd be fun.
Sure.
Okay.
Do you want me to start?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
I can go first. Sure. Okay.
You asked me if I wanted to go first. I said yes. And then you said, I'll go. Okay, I can go first. Yeah, you go first, Ursi. Go first.
Okay. All right. So I would say my first part would be, it's such cliche advice, but just do a bunch of it. Very simply put. You have to just spend time casting random games, friends games, stream and just click on random pro games and just cast it, talk about it, and then listen to your own casts. That's count that as one piece of advice.
Yeah, I agree. I would say that you have to get mechanics down, and what I mean by mechanics is assume that you are not going to have Wepis or the other guy. How can I forget it? Scurf.
Or Pimp Muckle.
Or Pimp Muckle. So you need to get good at controlling the camera and telling a narrative. Painting a picture, telling a story. You need to get rid of filler words, and you're definitely going to fake hype. Don't make it seem fake. Like there's so many casters I've listened to, like super amateur casters that They're like, oh my God, and here it comes, the tornado, and it catches 4. Oh my God, and they're spinning in the air. There's a Yules. And it's just fake. And it just comes across that way. I don't like it. So if you want to like look at hype casting, go ahead and look at like, I know Capitalist does a lot of play-by-play, but he can do some really good hype casting. Like him or not, I don't. Toby Wan is a great hype caster. Listen, I mean, that's what I would do if I wanted to get into casting. I'd listen to Toby Wan because, like, a lot of the times when he's hype casting, you're not even really listening to what he's saying. He's just like, and there's a raindrop on. Like, if you were to like write it out on a transcript, it would like almost make 0 sense. Like, it'd be like, there's a raindrop that pops. Yule scepter in the air. Oh my God, meteor! It's a disaster. So, you know, like you need little lines to go to. You would have to get rid of like and all of those filler words that feel comfortable. You have to be good. You have to be fast and quick witted. Something I know I could never do.
Yeah, I definitely cannot hype cast. I would say my biggest thing that I know is casting, and the thing that I think I like, and I've gotten good feedback around casting, is asking your co-caster questions. This is especially applicable if you're a lower MMR player and your co-caster is like a high MMR player, and you're doing that kind of like hype versus hype, one hype caster, one analysis caster. Mm-hmm. But even if you're not doing that, I think it's very valuable to be asking questions and say, this alchemist just picked up a solar crest. And if you don't know the answer to why he did that, why they did that, then ask your co-caster, like, oh, why do you think like this person would rush phase boots into solar crests? You know, what are the advantages? Are his teammates not building? Is his support Dazzles not building a solar crest? What's he building instead, right? You can lead yourself into interesting things, and that's good to fill time, especially in the early game. Mm-hmm. The other nice thing about that is that doing the opposite is really damaging. I hate it when casters that are not good and analysts make presumptive things like, oh, he picked up this and it's for this reason, or just blanket saying like, I don't know why he did that. You never want to say that. Like, that's not appealing for something to listen to.
I couldn't agree.
You want to think it through.
Also, I love the casters that don't question pros. I prefer a caster being like what Ursi said, being like, what do you think the reason for this is? Instead of, he's obviously getting it for this reason. Because you're fucking garbage compared to them. You don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't really know, but you can try and get a dialogue going with somebody. And even if you guys are of equal MMR, you guys are still gonna have different thoughts on a similar thing. So definitely, I would treat like if you wanted to start casting right now, I would even treat games that, like, if you're casting a 0 MMR game, treat it like it's a pro game. Don't assume they're buying something for that reason. Don't make yourself seem like you're the shit, basically. Come across humble, tell a good story, have some good filler statements and or words. Don't repeat like. Also, if you're solo casting, it's okay to have radio silence. I will be honest, like there's one caster, he's not popular, but I was watching him. He was terrible at the hype casting portion, but he was really good at, if nothing was going on, he felt comfortable enough to be silent. And it wasn't for longer than maybe 5 seconds, but it was nice. I don't need you to just babble. Like, to give me a story, don't babble.
Yeah, I'd say my last piece of advice to round out my 3 is don't go for cheap. Because an element, right, you're being an entertainer, unless you're like some 9K MMR, like analytical caster. A lot of the experience is, both for you and the viewer, is entertainment, right? And being funny or being exciting, whatever. And don't go for cheap laughs. And like, it's very easy to just be mean, especially if you're casting, you know, in houses or pub games or your friends or whatever. It's easy to go in for cheap, just like, oh, you know, what an idiot. Like, he sold his solar crest in game 5 of the grand finals. Like, can you believe that, right? That's funny. Sure, Twitch chat or your friends might think it's funny, but that is not good casting, just like it's not good humor, right? Make your casting, don't go in for cheap laughs, basically. Like, nobody likes a rude caster, right? People might like it from the viewer experience, but if you're making cheap jokes at the expense of players, especially if they're players that are better than you, as we bring to how a lot of players are just obviously better than casters, But even in like pub games, like especially if you're higher MMR than the people you're casting, like if me and Proud are casting the sub 3K in-house, you'll never hear us being like, or I hope you'll never hear us being like, oh my god, can you believe that he went X, Y, and Z before doing X, Y, and Z, right? It's very different to criticizing like a helpful, like, well, wonder why he made that choice and went Maelstrom first on PA. But it's very different to be like, oh, what an idiot. Like he went Maelstrom first on PA, right? Like those are two very different tonally, those are two very different statements.
Yeah, exactly.
So watch out for that.
Yeah, and lastly, Proud brought up a lot of good points where even if somebody does a bad play, don't be like, and it's obviously like a dumb, bad misplay. Don't be like, that was a dumb, bad misplay. Try and give them like, I see what they were going there. They thought that this person was here, which is why they blunk in, and they blew the RP. The RP is blown, and that is going to hurt them. They're going to have to wait for that to come back up. But I can put myself in their shoes on why they did it, or something like that.
Yeah.
Really, we're not casters at all. Well, Ursi's getting really good at it, but when I try and cast, I'm like, there's a Wraith King, and he has that, what's that item? It's the thing where you turn on, and it has a lot of armor, and it hurts you. God, what is it? It has the Helm of Iron Will? Armlet. It's an armlet. He has his armlet on. It's super good. Like, I've made choices in my life that have slowed my brain down. We'll just say that. So, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, casting's fun, but yeah, it is what you make of it. That's for sure.
I hope that answers your question, Kuma.
Yeah, it certainly does. Thank you very much. I'll keep that all in mind.
Perfect. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Okay, let's go ahead and read with your mouth, Ursi.
Okay, so let's see. All right. So from Migs, who is grinding out a new calibration account, already a controversial opening statement. His question is, there was a recent article about a 5-hour non-ranked game, but only one person abandoned after like 3 hours. Longest game you've played, and how long is too long? We've answered the second part similarly, but I will say, actually this week I played an hour and 48-minute game, and we lost, which is not fun. But it was a fun game overall. I played Invoker, so I was exhausted after it.
Oh man.
But that was my longest game, and that was very recent. Other than that, I had a bunch of like 90-minute games. But that was a game, and there was no techies, there was no tree and protector. It was just one of these games where neither team. No, I can actually look it up right now.
I'm looking up my longest game right now.
The problem was basically like the enemy team outscaled us, and we didn't push our early advantages long enough or far enough. Let's see. Hour and 48 minutes. Okay, so I'll list the teams off. So the enemy team was Zeus, Ricky, Kunkka, Spectre, Skywrath, Mage. And the Ricky was a huge problem for us. Ricky was one of the stars of the tournament. But the Ricky was really good, and he was really dominant, and it was disgusting. And then our team was Axe, Invoker, Juggernaut, Spirit Breaker, and Warlock. And ironically, unfortunately, this was an unranked mixed MMR game. The guy that played Spirit Breaker is, if you listen to the show for a while, you know Skrunk. Skrunk's brother, he was the Spirit Breaker, and he messaged me before. He was like, yo, I just watched the major. I haven't played Dota for like 3 months or so. I really want to get back into it. Do you want to play a game? I was like, sure, let's play a game. And the poor guy, like, his first game back after months is this like morass of a 108-minute game. I felt so bad for him. And he went 1-28. It was just a brutal game.
Oh man, that is brutal.
But he had 46 assists. But yeah, so that was my longest game by far. And despite my best efforts, we just got outscaled. And like Skywrath is a god in the late game. Even supports Skywrath. Like you can have 6-second silences on 2 people at once. The Aghanim Scepter is wild. But yeah, so that was fun, game, but we did end up losing.
My longest game is an hour 38, and that's on this new account, which is my account that I tied my phone to. And it was playing Vengeful Spirit, and was not a good game by any means. I don't know. It was okay. I was 4-21 and 37, and I transitioned. I got like a Daedalus, and that was
oh boy. Yeah. Okay, well, you're playing Venge. That's fine.
Yeah, but my longest game I specifically remember was almost 2 hours with Cyphus and Wazoo. Playing Treant Protector. and this was a while ago. This was like probably a year and a half ago.
Uh-huh.
So, the second though is this anti-mage game with 735 last hits. That was a cool game. That was with Proud, where Proud let me carry, and yeah. Anyway, I really don't like long games. I had an hour and 15-minute long game today as Axe, and it just came to the point where my what I did in that game, we won, and we were going to win. It was one of those games that everybody in the game knew we were going to win, but it just had to get dragged out to an hour and 15 minutes. I got a bunch of armor, bunch of effective health. I had a heart and a bunch of armor items, and my sole purpose was to blink and call while everybody, and then I'd die, and then everybody would do their damage, and it was not fun. Like, I got kills and stuff and would dunk, but when I called 3 people, you bet I was dying. But I was soaking a lot of damage, so just wasn't. Oh, here it is. Denny got the longest game. I was actually playing Huskar. Hour and 30. Never mind. So this hour and 38 Venge was my longest game.
Huh. Yeah, I think my only other standout was I had an hour and 25-minute game where I played Medusa, and I ended the game with 78,000 net worth and 1,110 last hits. I had 6 rapiers at the end of the game because I needed pocket rapiers, and then I just kept building them. Wow. And that was my other. I was 29-3, but we ended up losing. Yeah, I've actually lost almost every single one of my very long games. I'm looking at now. But I like long games. I think it's fun. I think it's something that you don't get to experience regularly, and the decision-making process in super late game is very interesting to me. Depends
on what your hero is. Like, if it's Axe, like,
that's for sure. Yeah.
My items were predestined. Like, I was gonna get... I ended up going AC, and then getting a Shiva's and a Heart, and a Blink Dagger, and a Vanguard. Like, I had, all, like, the regular Axe shit. And it just, it wasn't fun. I'll be honest. Like, I just got to a point where I was like, okay, here we go. Blink call. All right, get him. All right, let's try and get a tower. We got it. Good. Back. Anyway, our next caller is Kona Tangent. His MMR is 4,000. Kona Tangent, what's your question?
Hey, guys. I've asked a couple questions before, and this is my first time calling in.
Oh,
I was doing the email through Ryan V.
Oh, nice.
And I want to know which guys you feel like you would have the most similar music taste with, and why it would be, or what it would be.
Okay, I've got
the
mine.
Other hosts.
I've got mine.
Oh
right
no, of the heroes.
Oh, the heroes. Okay, that's a much more.
I mean, I've got Prouds. I've got mine. I've got Ursi's.
Oh God.
I've got Denny's.
Everyone.
Okay, so mine is Invoker, for sure. Because we're listening to, like, some 80s shit. Like, we're listening to, like, Fleetwood Mac together, you know what I mean? We're, like, something like that. Maybe The Cure, something like that. Like, we're listening to some old shit. Because we appreciate, electronic-y shit. Ursi is, maybe, like, Chen or Enchantress. They listen to weird-ass shit that nobody can understand. And nobody really likes.
Answer.
Nobody really likes. Who else would it be? Proud listens to music that, like, Shadow Fiend and Warlock love. Like, Shadow Fiend is like, dude, I love this, like, death metal screamo, and Proud's like, yeah, me too, man. And Denny would listen to, like, Denny would listen to, like, who's somebody that's like a poser? What's a poser hero? Like, think
Rubik, the ultimate poser.
Yeah, he's like, I like whatever. I like it all. I like every type of music. Yeah, Denny would be Rubik for sure. Okay, is that everybody? And then Breaky CPK, I don't know well enough. I take Breaky CPK for, I don't know. He probably likes good stuff. I don't know. I take him for, like, a rock. Yeah, Denny says Wraith King.
Tiny.
No, I alternative rock. So yeah, probably Tiny.
Beastmaster.
Beastmaster, maybe. Yeah, I guess that's alt rock. Yeah.
I'll give mine. Okay, so I would say my music taste is closest to Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit just seems like a fun guy that
Storm
likes fun
Spirit.
music and
God damn
doesn't
it.
really care.
That is who you are.
Doesn't really care.
Yeah.
It's ironic because I hate Storm Spirit. Like he's probably my least favorite hero in the entire game of Dota 2.
That's because you can't play him, dude.
Roland.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I hate playing against him. Also, I just hate the hero fundamentally. It's
played in one with him
anyway.
today. Played in one with him today.
That's exciting. I mean, I've won a lot of games with him. I just hate the hero by concept. It's just ridiculous that the hero can do so many absurd things. Anyway, that's not the question. Roland, I would say his music taste, it's probably something like maybe a Brewmaster. I think that would be fun. Like relaxed music, classic music, but nothing too exciting, nothing too revolutionary. Basically all the music that you expect him to listen to. Proud, I'd say something like Lion or Shadow Fiend is actually a very good answer. Definitely something dark.
Yeah, dark, depressing.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I don't know enough about Dota lore to have like a really good answer for these, because also I don't listen to the English voices, so I don't know what what the characterization is in general. So I don't have like exact good answers. Maybe Death Prophet also be Proud music. Yeah. Cyphus, I think Rubik was a good answer. I don't know Cyphus' music
Queen
taste
of
other than he
Pain
listens
for
to a lot
Proud.
of rap.
Quap for Proud. Queen of Pain.
Yeah.
That's another good one.
That would be clever. He also just listens to a lot of noise rock. Like
that was
noise
Denny
music,
that was Denny that said that. It's Proud Queen of Pain.
That's clever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I would say Breaky is like a Beastmaster. Seems like a pretty solid, firm,
like
generic
9 Inch
music
Nails.
taste.
I could see him liking. I could see him liking like,
generic stuff.
I don't
Good
know him
stuff,
well enough,
but nothing too exciting.
It's shit that a lot of other people like. That like I feel like he's on one side of the spectrum and you're on the other. Like you listen to shit that like only 5 people like. He listens to shit that like a lot of people like.
Lots of people like it, just not people nearby.
Yeah. Oh.
Like it's one of those things where you're surprised when somebody knows it.
If you showed up in South Korea and you're like, yeah, I love this band, everybody would be like,
that would be weird. That's not what I mean.
Yeah,
that's
like,
not what I mean.
You couldn't.
What I mean when I say that is that lots of people listen to. I mean, international fan groups are larger than South Korean fan groups for a lot of the music that I like. But the thing is, like, if you go to a place, you don't have a high concentration of people that like the music. Whereas generic music, you have lots of concentration in areas.
Okay.
But any kind of like niche music, it spans the globe, right? It's not concentrated as much.
For sure. Okay.
Also, it's weird. My favorite song currently has 4,000 views on YouTube. That's how like obscure some of this crap is.
I know. Kona, that was...
And not in a good way.
Kona or Ryan, thank you for calling in. That was a great question.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Our next caller is Chaos. His MMR is 3402. Chaos, what's your question?
Man, Roland, you sound so tired.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a dark lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise that he could use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create life. He had such a knowledge of the dark side that he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. Dark side, of course, is a pathway to many abilities that some consider to be unnatural. He became so powerful that the only thing he was afraid of was losing his power, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep. Somewhat ironic that he could save others from death, but not himself. On that note, lots of times we talk about how other people screwed up our games. But what about the reverse? Do you have any Dota confessions for the times you really screwed up? Or apologies you'd like to make to the random pub teammates you might have wronged in the past?
I feel like this week's Proudland was Roland making a Dota confession about that Sven game.
Yeah. I've got
I'm excited. I'm happy.
I've got a really big one. Kicking ass as Spectre. Okay. I've got Quell. I've got Stout. I've got 1,500 gold. I'm going straight to Radiance. That was a huge mistake. I didn't get Radiance in like 25 minutes, and all I had was Stout, Quell, and Radiance, and I died super easily. I feel bad for everybody that was on my team. We lost definitely because of me. I got shit the entire time, and I just was like, I'm sorry the whole time. But those guys definitely deserve like another apology. And I apologize for the game that I had today where I played anti-mage mid because I thought it would be good against Tinker. It's not.
Oh boy,
it's not.
Yeah, you'll just get lasered. Constantly.
Yeah, I just kept getting lasered, and I had no regen because I was like, I'm gonna go battle mage where like I get like Maelstrom, and I never got there, and I lost the game for my team. So.
You're really on that Maelstrom thing. You bring that up like every show.
I know. Well, I never get there. I never get enough gold to even buy a Maelstrom. How much is that? Like 30 million? It may as well be because I don't have 2,700 gold. Anyway, Ursi.
Boy. So no like single game is really popping out to me, but I will say I've thrown a ton of games by not having buyback because I'm in those games, right, where you're like 19-0 and you're dominating the game, but for some reason you can't win it. And then you're like, all right, if I'm going to get this last item, I'm going to win. And I've thrown so many games. I shouldn't say so many, but I've thrown definitely like dozens of games where I'm just getting overzealous. That's definitely a problem when I'm playing, especially unranked games in like stacks. And God, I had another one that I was thinking about, but I think my biggest Dota confession is that I make the wrong decision when I know it's the wrong decision, but I'm just trying to have fun in like an unranked game or something, or I'm just thinking too highly of myself and my ability to play. And then I make some stupid decision like buying out a buyback or trying to, backdoor while they try to kill our base or something like that. And those are always mortifying, right? Because it's like, I know I should have won this game, but I just did a stupid thing, and I knew it was a stupid thing while I was doing it, and yet here we are, post-stupid thing having been done, and where we lost. So that's my general confession. I'm glad. I thought I was worried when you had that intro
Chaos,
that it was going to be a Star Wars question.
The intro was awesome. The intro was great. Chaos, we're running short on time. Thanks for calling in, and that was awesome. Goodbye, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Ursi, we don't have time for anything more except to do plugs. You can find us at defenseofthepatients.com. May the 4th be with you, because on the 4th of May is a new website, a beautiful, tangible, awesome website where you can buy .p swag. It's going to be not swag.
Just shirts and hoodies and stuff.
Yeah, but we're going to add shit.
Merchandise.
Look, it was a monumental task. Big shout out to Deadman, to Silver Fox, to B-Dub, to B-Dub, to B-Dub, to Silver Fox. God damn it, they're awesome. And to Deadman. Deadman, congratulations. He is now a father. I know what it's like.
Huzzah.
I know what it's like. It sucks for the first little while. It just... Yeah, it's good, though. You like it after a little while. Twitch.tv/.ptv. You can watch the video of this. If you are listening in your car, you can go back and see how styling Ursi is. Damn, look at him. I'm going to do some things when he gets shitty drunk. That's for sure. Like beat him mid.
Oh, my God. That's like... Yeah, I'm glad you turned that around.
Yeah. I wasn't going sexual.
I know. That's why I was concerned. But we are in the new and reformed role.
I mean, unless
perfectly socially correct.
Unless something were to happen, who knows? Defense of the Patreon.com/defense of the patients. No, Patreon.com/defense of the patients. iTunes.
Okay.
iTunes.
I was a little worried.
And there are all new rewards on there now. They're fun. I think
they are fun.
Go ahead and leave a review on iTunes, pretty please. That's the free way to help us. Really helps us. Helps us get seen. Helps our rankings. All that type thing. Believe it or not, that shit matters. Yeah, we're selling out. We want to. We'd sell out to anybody we could.
That's the dream, dude.
Nobody's really given us that offer to sell out yet. So unfortunately, we haven't sold out. But the second we get the chance, I'm going to sell out like immediately. Even if that means like...
that's the dream.
Yeah, right? And
people that make fun of selling out have no aspirational
Yeah, I'm
goals.
not going to sell out, man. It's like, I will sell out for like a pretty reasonable price. You don't even have to like give me...
Either sell out...
Yeah, like, I mean, I was
sell
thinking
out
about
or you live poor.
Yeah, exactly. Or you're like that 35-year-old guy that's at like parties with 18-year-olds, and you're like, I'll never sell out, man. It's worked out for me. It's like, dude, whatever. That's my analogy. There was this guy that was always at these parties when we were super young, and it was like, he was like that guy. You know, he's like, I didn't sell out.
I know a couple of those.
Never sell out.
I know a couple of those.
So you're just that guy. That's fine.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
We have one of those at my local bar.
Oh yeah. He was definitely
TV1.
Yeah, TV1 YouTube. He was definitely at the local bars a lot too, and it was like, he's here, man. Yeah. Fuck, he's here.
At my local, this will be quick, but at my local bar, we do have. There's one guy I see all the time when I'm there. He always has a Black and Mild that's obviously not lit in like the corner of his mouth that's dragging down.
Oh god.
He's a white dude with dreads, and he has like really big like jewelry-esque. Like it's almost too big to be called jewelry. It's something that like I would think I'd see in Game of Thrones, where it's like metal kind of stuff that's like a necklace almost, but it's huge.
So Sage Francis has a line. I got to get this in. Sage Francis has a line. This is not coming from me. In one of his rap songs, it says, "Give me ethnicity or give me dreads," and I love that line. I'm going to be honest. It's a great line.
That's clever.
Yeah.
Can I make the closing note for this episode? Because I have something specifically that I need to tell you, Roland. Because Proud gave you bad advice on Monday. You're playing Tidehunter off lane. You don't go PMS first. You go Iron Talon Tango.
Yeah, that's what I was.
That's what you
do.
Dude,
I knew that already. But Proud's.
Yeah, I know. I was just mortified.
Proud's point of you don't get any shield whatsoever. But Proud's point of view on that one was like that way you can get like 2 levels in Anchor Smash and no level. Yeah. And it's like, no, I'm probably never going to do that. But that's interesting that you say that.
Well, I mean, you could still get Anchor Smash level 1 if you have a point if you have Iron Talon.
Yeah, you have
like
2
Iron
extra
Talons
armor.
plus armor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it lets you CS against a superior damage carry because you Iron Talon before you hit the creeps.
Yep.
Or you just say, hey, this is miserable. I'm going to go jungle.
Yep.
But yeah, so do that.
Yeah.
Don't go freaking PMS.
Don't. Yeah, I agree. And I play Tidehunter all the time. And like, even if I jungle, like I'm starting Kraken Shell, and it's going to be a little slow till level 2, and then it's going to get sped up really quickly. So, anyway,
I don't know about that, but yeah,
you guys are awesome. This is Roland for Ursi saying you guys have questions, and Ursi drones on.
See, this is a short episode. Don't drag me like that.
I'm just joking, but Ursi kind of drag on.